I had no connections at all with publications. I had no excuse to walk up to someone and say, give me a photo pass. And they'd say, what publication do you work for? I didn't work for anyone. I was just beginning. But I knew Jim Marshall, the legend. But he didn't know me as a photographer. He knew me as a coffee house operator. He'd come in and take pictures in my club. And so I had a friend who loaned me 3 Leica cameras, and I went to Woodstock, the festival. And I figured I should because I knew a lot of people playing there, musicians. So I show up, and Marshall sees me with the 3 Leicas, and he thought, oh, Joey's going to look to get a photo pass. Then he thought, let's give him one. And that gave me my life. It really did. I've been doing photography ever since. The fact that he let me get on the stage and take pictures. I knew Rod Stewart from London when he was in the Faces with Ronnie Wood, who's in the Rolling Stones now. And I'd photographed him at many events. We'd had a few pints in the pubs in the Soho section of London. And now he's a bigger star. And so I get commissioned to photograph Rod Stewart played Madison Square Garden. I go to the gig, I get into the front, I take the pictures. Liz Rosenberg, who later became Madonna's publicist, working for Warner Brothers, Rod's label, comes over to us photographers, some of the bigger shot photographers, and gives us these invites to a nightclub for later after Rod's gig at the Garden. And I said, what is this? She said, well, it's sort of like an end of the tour party. It'll be nice, good food, great restaurant, and you can hang out with all the pop stars. Johnny Yoko will be there, and they were. And she said, oh, and Brian Ferry from Roxy Music is looking forward to seeing you there, because he and I were neighbors in London when I lived there. Brian and I are sitting at the bar. The bathroom door keeps opening, and I could see beautiful tiles on the wall in the men's room. And I see him go in there in his stage outfit, because he's just done the Garden. And now he's leaving, and I got the camera, and I figured, get him and the great tiles, and that's the shot. And if I wouldn't have done it, it was just some Joe Blow coming out of the bathroom who would have thought, what kind of bar is it? They take pictures of you when you leave? You know. Yeah, we're a couple. In reference to the Clash cover picture, she and I would sit in this restaurant and talk about our day. She worked for the competing newspaper, and we had editorial secrets. And one night I linked closely to her, and we're having dinner, and I said, so how was your day, Katie? And she said, oh, it was pretty good. And I said, what'd you do in the alley? She said, I took pictures of these 3 boys, and they looked like psychopaths. It turns out it was the first Clash cover. Wow. January 15th, folks, at the Currier in Manchester, Backstage Pass, fantastic photo show, collected by one guy, very good eye, good taste in photography. I know, I'm a photographer, and I know some of the pictures in the show, and some of the photographers are some of my heroes. Go see it, don't miss it. Ends in January.